that to change my mindset. So, but again, you know, you really have to jot down where you are. What are your perceptions? Like, take a deep look at what are the things that are holding you back, because if you don't know what they are, you can't attack them. So, and he also said, Brian Marsh also said in his talk, that you can either make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. And I really, really liked that. Like, that really resonated with me. You know, I need to stop making excuses. Everybody's busy. Everybody has kids going in a bunch of different directions. You know, life is happening to everybody, but I need to stop making excuses, and I just need to do it. So that was my second M. So my third M is method. So once I decided to treat the business like a business, which is another thing that Brian Marsh said, treat your business like a business, that I knew I had to learn how to work it. So I thought, you know, I'm going to crush this. I'm going to crush it. Well, you can't crush it if you don't know what it is. You have to learn what it is to crush it. So I really took the time to go over the compensation plan. And, you know, it just so happened that I joined right around the same time that they were rolling out the new compensation plan, which was great for me because it put me in a position of learning it just like everybody else, you know, and a lot of our talks and everything were geared toward the compensation plan. So that was very, very helpful for me. So, but I wanted to know, in looking at the compensation plan, what is the quickest and easiest way for me to get where I want to be, which, you know, I think most of us feel the same way. Like, how do I get into that combo club? How do I get to the point where I have a benefits package, right? You know, that's what I wanted to do. So I really spent some time looking at that benefits package, and at the stairway to heaven, I think, whatever you call it. So I really spent a lot of time trying to look at that and say, okay, what is it? What do I need again? And, you know, so I really did refer to it often, and I often had questions, and I would try to explain it to my mom or to my kids. I'd sit them down and I'm trying to explain it to them, because for me, it's always easier to learn something when you have to teach it, you know, and I learned that in a couple different, my jobs is, as soon as you have to teach somebody something, suddenly you know it better. So that's what I tried to do. And I found that if you have questions about it, just ask. Another thing is to set your goals. Make sure that you know what you're working towards each month. Use your virtual office to keep track of it, and check back often. Don't just assume that you know where you're at. Really check those numbers. Make sure you really know where you're at. I mean, mistakes happen. They happen. You know, that's why we check our bank accounts at the end of every month and try to balance the checkbook, because mistakes happen. So, you know, keep track of where you're at. Also, I know that no one's going to care about my business as much as I care about my business. So that's another reason. Don't just say, oh, well, my upline always checks and she's going to let me know if I'm close to making something. You know, it's your business. Treat it like your business. Know your business. That was really important to me. Towards the end of my 30 days, I was getting really close, and I realized I was only 31 PV short of my next promotion. And so when you see that, when you realize just how close you are, you know, suddenly I'm like, well, next month I was planning on buying some of those individually packaged gummies so I could hand them out as samples. Well, when I saw I was only 31 PV away, I mean, that was like a no-brainer. Buy the gummies now, and that's going to push you over, you know? So I'm investing in my business. I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone, right? I'm investing in my business. I was going to make that purchase anyway, but the timing was important for me in order to make the promotion. So that's just one example where if you really kind of keep your eye on where you're at all the time, you can find little things like that that help. I also spent a lot of time strategizing the timing of the purchases. And I talked to Moira quite a bit about this. For example, one of my customers, she wanted to buy a tower garden, and she wanted to buy her husband the trio. But at the time, I only needed 300 PV more to achieve my goal. So after talking with Moira about it, and she was a friend of mine, the customer was also a friend, was also a friend of mine. So I talked her into placing the order for the trio first. And then she was just going to wait a few days into August and place the tower order. And it actually helped the timing helped both of us. I didn't need that extra PV in the current month because I already had what I needed for my promotion. If she just waited a couple of days, then it was going to be worth more to me because my promotions will have gone into effect in that next month. And it also helped her out because she didn't have to come up with a whole bunch of money right at once. She knew she wanted both, but with just a little bit of shift in the timing, it benefited both of us. So again, that's just another example of why watching. Yeah, Moira?
One of the things I want you to make clear to everybody is when you come in as a new rep, you're making just the sales profit, right?
Right, yeah.
You were going to make the sales profit by putting that tower off until the beginning of August. That was going to give you sales profit and commission.
And commission, right. So that was a really big thing for me. Yeah.
Right. So I just wanted you to make that clear to everybody, because when you saw that, you were like, oh man. And Carrie was there to say, oh, I'll wait. I can wait 2 days. Order my
Exactly. You know, she's my friend. She wants to encourage me in my business. I help her out in her business too. And so just understanding where I was. And so again, that's just one more reason to just really kind of know where you are at any point in time, because 2 days is going to make a big difference to my pocketbook, right? And again, if I didn't really know the plan, if I didn't really understand the plan, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So, and somebody's going to get that money. Why not me? Like somebody's going to make that profit off of that, right? I'm putting in all that work. Why not have that be me? I wanted it to be me. So, which kind of leads to my next point, which was like, don't leave money sitting on the table. So if the company wants to give me a bonus, I'm going to do everything I can to earn that bonus. So when this new compensation plan came out, and I saw that Partner Plus, yeah, it comes with a 5% commission, but if you do it fast track, you get $50. But hey, if you do it express track, you get $100. I don't want to leave that money sitting on the table. I want to try to go for that 100. So I really was one of the ones who was motivated against myself. You know, I'm not going to leave that money sitting on the table. I'm going to go for it. So that again was all part of my personal motivation. Attend the Zoom and the conference calls. There's just so many different meetings that our group has. And I remember for the first week, I was just kind of like, okay, there's meetings Monday, and then something's going on Tuesday, and I'm meeting Moira on Wednesday. And I just felt really kind of overwhelmed with like all the different meetings and everything. But I asked Moira, like, which ones are the really important ones? Which ones should I attend? And I really needed to hear those. I was new to the products. I came in as a Tower Garden customer, and I was sold on the Tower Garden. I will talk anybody's ears off on the Tower Garden, know it, love it. I love it. But I was new to Juice Plus. I didn't know anything about it. And I have one of those faces where, you know, if I'm BSing, I mean, it's just written all over my face. I can't sneak. I've never been able to lie to my parents. It's just all right here. So I really had to feel if I was going to educate people about Juice Plus, I had to be genuine. I had to know about it. And really the only way that I had to get to know about this product, so since I've only been taking it for like 2 weeks, was I had to hear everybody else's stories. And that's where those Zoom calls were really, really helpful for me, because I got to hear everybody's stories. Also getting organized. I know, who was it? Was it Susie, where you told us about the book, getting organized with our books? I'm like, I do that. That was when you said that. I'm like, look, here's mine. You know, and that was one of the very first things I did, was to pull out my 3-ring binder. And I also have like a notebook. So for everybody's talk, I would, you know, take my notes, and for the really, really interesting talks, like the Brian Marsh talk and some of the strategizing sessions that I've had with Moira, after my handwritten notes, I'll actually go back and retype them. So, because again, it goes along with that same mindset of I learn better when I have to teach it. So like retyping it to me is kind of like I'm teaching it back to myself as I'm typing and I'm going over it again. Another tip was get what you need to succeed. So when I talk to someone about Juice Plus, I want to be able to put my best foot forward, and I want to be able to give them solid information. Since I'm so new to the business, I really needed to rely pretty heavily on the printed materials. And I wanted to make sure that not only am I being thorough and telling them the right information, but so it was really just important for me to have those promotional materials. So I even went and I bought like the tower sign and the tablecloth, the one that has the banner, it looks like a banner, but it's in the tablecloth. Just so that when I hold an event, I want it to look like a serious business. Again, I want people to take me seriously. And in corporate America, in the corporate world, I'm never going to have an event where I don't set the stage. I want the room to look good. I want the atmosphere to be good. I want to have handouts. I want to look professional. And so for me, it was really important to put a little bit of money investing in my business to make it look like I'm not just running something out of the back of my car, you know, and none of this stuff was expensive. I waited, everything was like on sale for 50%, I think, when I got it. So, I just think it's important to kind of take yourself serious, which leads to the fourth M, which was mentor and malleable. So I said, find a mentor and be malleable. Attach yourself to your mentor. Even if he or she isn't your direct upline, really find your mentor. It seems like I had to piggyback over my direct upline up to Moira, but I found Moira and I'm so lucky that I found her. And I schedule time to ask her questions, we set strategy, we create goals. And honestly, that is hands down, it's the key to how I was successful this time. So without the guidance and enthusiasm from Moira, I probably would have dismissed the business opportunity like I have other network marketing opportunities in the past. But the enthusiasm and the support that I got from Moira really made me take it serious. And don't just listen to your mentor, be malleable, learn from them and just do it. Be a learner and a doer. If you choose a good mentor, if you choose a mentor like Moira, why wouldn't you want to take their advice? Moira has years of experience over me. She knows how to do it right. And she's seen it done wrong, probably a whole lot. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be one of those stories that Moira tells other people, like, don't do it the way Melissa did it. You know, I want her to be able to say, do it that way.
I would never say that.
Well, I want to make sure of it. So yeah, you would not be a very smart person if you don't take the advice of your mentor, if you choose a good one. The fifth M is model. Find people that you want to model your business after. Friend them on social media, interview them, pick their brains, see what they're doing and mimic it. This doesn't only have to be in the Juice Plus company. So for instance, I have several friends who own their own businesses, several women who own their own businesses. And we get together once a week and we just strategize. We talk about our business. We talk about, hey, what's the best way that you find that you market? You know, how do you talk to people? How do you do a Facebook Live? You know, I'm really nervous about that. So I get one of my friends I kind of model my Facebook Lives after hers, and she helps me out. She gives me tips and tricks. So, and we support each other. I can always count on this group of ladies. If I'm gonna teach a class and I'm worried, what if nobody shows up? I know at least these ladies are gonna show up for me, just like I'm gonna show up for them when they're holding an event. You know, if I post something on my social media page, I can count on these ladies to comment and try to get some excitement going and some conversation going. So find those models, find those people who are your cheerleaders and work with them. The sixth M is marketing. And I knew that I couldn't be successful without marketing. My definition of marketing as it relates to my business is any activity taken to promote and educate people on the merits of Juice Plus in the Tower Gardens. And so far at this point, my marketing strategy really just depends on word of mouth. I talk about it everywhere, and I mean everywhere. At this point, I'm like always talking about it. So much so that like I walked into the health food store the other day and I just start talking to the woman who owns the store, and now it looks like I'm going to have an event there because she got excited about it. So I'm just talking about it. Media, I mentioned social media, Facebook post, a YouTube channel. One of my models, my friend that I mentioned, she's doing pretty well in the Young Living business, and she does really great shorts. She's the queen of like the 3-minute video, you know, so she's teaching me how to do those short little videos where people aren't going to fall asleep in the middle of you trying to share something. So I need to get a little bit better about that. And Moira asked me to bring one of my tools. Moira, is now a time you want me to show them?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I have, it's kind of like a selfie stick. It can start out looking like a selfie stick, but it is also adjustable. It can go up to 6 feet tall, and it's got the tripod base on it. So I don't have to have the camera person. I don't have to ask my husband to come and film me doing those little Facebook lives. Picked it up off Amazon. They got 100 different ones. Some of them even have like the little timer, so you can take the pictures or start the recording or whatever remotely. And so those are nice too, but that's been really helpful for me. That's a way to help market. And materials, I always have some marketing materials with me. The seventh step, my 7th M, is momentum. And my advice there is just work it every day, keep the momentum going. And I find that just like a diet, if you decide to cheat for just one day, it's really hard to get back on the diet bandwagon. So spend every day thinking about your business, learning something new, talking to someone, reading a book, listening to a business podcast or an audiobook. Don't just sit back and expect it to happen. Even if it's only for just a few minutes a day, invest in yourself, invest in your business. So those are my 7 M's.
It's fabulous. And it didn't hurt. It doesn't hurt that your name begins with M and so does mine.
M's, 7 M's.
You really have 9 M's. Would you be open to questions, Melissa? A couple of questions and then
I can try.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Melissa? If you do, just unmute yourself and start talking. Because I can't see everybody.
I just want to say this was great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say the same thing. Ditto. You did an awesome job, and your expertise just shines through, bright and shiny.
Oh, thank
so
you.
You're a definite asset to the team. Thank you so much for sharing.
The fun part about Melissa, so Melissa, okay, so Melissa was furloughed, her husband was furloughed, and she really wanted to make the maximum amount of money. If you don't mind, I won't give the exact amount, Melissa, but she almost darn near made $1,000.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because when I looked at my bank account, I was like, $488. I got $488 the first month. And I called Moira all excited. Look, I got 400. She goes, that's not even your bonuses. You got another like $500 in bonuses coming. I'm like, what? So yeah, it's all excited.
So, but what was fun about Melissa is, yes, she came through the Tower Garden door, okay? The Tower Garden really like excited the heck out of her. And the minute I started talking to her, I really was very gentle. I tried to be very gentle, but when I found out that she really wanted to help people and help her family, like we all do, I had to gently say, Melissa, I really want you to look at this Juice Plus product, because it would be like sitting on a 2-legged stool if you don't have the Juice Plus under your belt. You're going to want to understand it and learn about it. And she was so cute. She said, well, okay, I'll give it a look, but no promises. And I said, no, I will not push you, but I'm gonna ask you to take a good look at it. And the minute she started looking at it, and it didn't hurt that we had Ro Melnikov come on and talk about her lupus. That was fine direction. Melissa really started to see the benefits of the entire Juice Plus product line, which is very, very narrow, guys. I mean, we've got a very narrow. But what was interesting was when she got a notification from her church recently, she was very, right, Melissa?
Yeah, my church all of a sudden, because the diocese is going through bankruptcy, I was told that our benefits, our health insurance isn't secure. Like, I don't really know if I'm going to end up having health insurance here shortly. And that was pretty scary to me. So I called them, okay, how quickly can you get me benefits? So
and getting benefits was a big, big deal for me. because Danny and I have 3 children, and at the time, he still is a senior partner in a law firm, but he's an equity partner, so we didn't get anything from the firm. We paid for it. Our insurance was $2,300 a month after tax dollars. And so I got very motivated by grabbing the NMD brass ring and getting those benefits, because once I got those benefits, I had more services with lower deductibles. I got $1,000 Christmas bonus. I got a business investment bonus, which was an expense allowance without submitting an expense report, up to $3,000 a month. Anywhere I had team in any country that was really producing. So there are such great things that I was going for, and the benefit package was one of them. And so when Melissa called me up and said that last week, I said, I know exactly what she's feeling. It's that you feel a little bit vulnerable. At least I did, Melissa. I felt vulnerable when I knew I was going for NMD, because I really wanted to give Danny the gift of a $28,000 raise when I became an NMD and we got the benefit package. And so we still have this benefit package. We still pay less than $300 a month that comes out of our check. And we even have now long-term care insurance that was given to us when the economy was shaky. Our president wanted to take care of us even more. So Melissa, thank you for this very, very valuable information. I loved every second of it. I did record it. I started recording it a little late, right after, I think I did it at Mindset. So your first M was motivation. Your second M was mindset. Your third was method. Your fourth was mentor and malleable. Your fifth was model. Your sixth was marketing. And then your 7 was momentum. Did I miss anything?
You got it.
Great job. And it's so much fun to work with you, and really all of you. And it's really exciting. I would like to go over this magic notebook that we were all trained by Cynthia Gompers to do. If you don't have a notebook, and you don't have phase 1 and phase 2 printed out, please go to your virtual office and please print these out. Here's phase 2. You go to the Freedom Revolution, and there's your under compensation. You go to US, and you'll be able to print these out. And they're very, very, very important documents. The phase 1 is shorter than phase 2. Phase 1 does as the Stairway to Heaven. Phase 1 will do the first 4 positions, and then phase 2 will do the next 5 and above positions. And so my personal goal is to get to international marketing director. We're getting really close. I'm building structure and volume. So I'm doing exactly what you guys are doing. And as a national marketing director, I have the privilege of working with all of you and helping those that want help. And I'm ready to work with anybody, and your sponsors are ready to work with you. I want to build interdependence with my frontline people. I consider Melissa frontline because her sponsor isn't in the business anymore. And that happens a lot where we'll get someone, we'll have the privilege of working with someone because their sponsor, life happens and they take a hiatus. And so we just lock arms with everybody. Melissa's next goal and your next goal, if you're not qualified, is to qualify your business. And you want to be a qualifying sales coordinator to get to the extra 3%. And the 3% sounds like a little bit of money when you first hear it, but in actuality, the 3% in the performance bonus, which is qualifying your business, that's what I'm talking about here, your performance bonus and your POB bonus are the largest part of my check, okay? So I just want to show you something that's very unique about this company. And I didn't have time to do a poll for you today. But if I had made time, I would have put up a poll that says, if you need 1,800 points to qualify your business, tell me how many qualifiers are in this in 1,800 or above points. Tell me how many qualifiers you have in this list of 15 people. So I'm going to give you a minute and just tell me how many qualifiers you have. And I want to hear from somebody that really doesn't understand what we're talking about yet, but can figure this out pretty easily. Okay, who wants to answer this that's kind of on the new side? Amy, you want to take a shot at it? Or Melissa, you want to take a shot at this?
I was going to say 5.
Yeah, you're right. So what's cool about this is a lot of thank you so much, Amy, good job. Or Melissa, you did that. Thank you, Melissa. The thing is, a lot of network marketing companies only pay you binary, which is two legs, and they only pay you down levels. The Juice Plus company pays you down generations. So look at this. As a national marketing director, I get paid 5 generations. As a QNMD, you get paid 4 generations. As a as a QSSC and to QNMD, you get paid 4 generations. So a bunch of you are making 4 generations. And then as an NMD, you make 5 generations. So you are able to go down 15 levels to reach your 5 generations. That's a lot of 3%ers that you're making money on. And if you don't understand this, I'd like you to really make time to talk to your sponsor, because he or she will understand it. That's 3% on 23,087 PV or dollars. That's not bad, you know, do the math on that. So it really behooves you. Melissa's next goal and a lot of your next goals is to qualify your business. To qualify your business, you need 1,800 points in your performance bonus qualification. That's 24 trios. So there'll be a time when Melissa and all of you are going to really focus on that 24 trios to get qualified. But after a couple of months of being intensely aware of where you are in your business, like Melissa said, you will no longer have to worry about it, because your business will naturally stay qualified. It's like a muscle memory when you work out. Your body knows what to do, your business knows what to do. So thank you, Melissa. Thank you, everybody, for participating. And next week, we are going to go over some things like customer care. It's time to do customer care. But we're also going to go over again, I'm going to keep referring back to this notebook, because on anybody I'm working with that I do a roadmap call with, I've got their page printed out and where they are on their promotions. So it makes it super easy, because once you reach the volume and the requirements, the structure requirements, you have to hold it for 2 to 3 or 4 months. For me, as an IMD, I've got to hold it for 4 months. So, you know, it's not just, you just don't get there and go, I've done it. You have to get there and stay there. So it's exciting. This is all really exciting. And I want to thank you all. I enjoyed working with you all, and I look forward to launching you working with you, Amy, to launch you, and anybody that wants to do a roadmap call with their sponsor and me, just let us know. We'll be happy to schedule it. And thanks for the comments. I really appreciate them all. And yes, Melissa, great job. And good night, everybody. And have a great week.
Thank
It
you.
is important.
Right,
I would
thank you.
encourage you to get on Cheryl's call, because Sharon Rankin is the first woman to become a national marketing director with the Juice Plus company. She's been with the company for 35 years out of the 50 years. This is our anniversary, and Sharon is such a hot ticket. She is a quintessential professional whom I love dearly, and I think you're going to learn a lot from her. So